awesome. Hey, I just wanted to ask you a quick question here. Lou, could you stand up for just a moment? Do any of you recognize her? She's from Sikeston, Missouri, all the way out. Well, we're so glad that you are here together, and we've just enjoyed you. And Sammy on the drums, you flew in just to be here? And did you fly into San Luis International Airport? Did you run into 5 or 6 people? Because that would be traffic jam right there. We just think it's great to have you here. And some of you who sang, you just did a great job. Josh, you did a wonderful job. Could you work on doing a backflip next time off the... That was pretty cool. And BJ, you did a great job too. We just want to... Which one's BJ? Right here, right? Good. All right. Are you single? How old are you? 15. You're 15? How old are you, Josh? 21. You got a girlfriend? I got 2 girls at home. I am going to get it when I go home, that's for sure. I want to thank you all for coming all the way out here. You really blessed us and ministered. I just got back in a few days ago. You know, I was off to Denver, as I do, twice a year to work on my doctorate, and had a wonderful time, and I'll share some of those moments with you in the days ahead. But I want to let you know we're in a class, and the class was all about slowing down your life and listening to God. You know, you need to do that. You really do. Life is such a busy pace today. I remember when I was in grade school, they talked about technology and how all these technological things were going to be coming out in the future, computers and so forth and so on. And all these things were going to save us time and save us money, and we were going to live a life of relaxation. And we were going to all have to worry about jobs because the computers would be doing all the work for us. Life was going to slow down. Boy, that is a lie. But one thing was true, we still have to worry about a job, don't we? Especially in today's world. So many interruptions, so busy, we never take time to listen to God. And the class was just simply about gearing your life in such a rhythm, with such rules, that you slow down and you listen to God. And God shared several things with me while I was there. One of the things I want to share with you, just in our brief moments together, is we drove out of here on a Friday, late morning, if you will, and we drove across 58 and caught the 15 going out through Barstow and Baker and then ultimately into Las Vegas and beyond. You never want to drive that freeway on a Friday afternoon. That was a mistake of my life. Apparently somebody forgot to tell about 2.4 million people that there's a recession. But they were all driving to Las Vegas to make their annual contribution to the building program there. And there were tons of them on their way. And when you get to be my age, which is not that old, but you have to make rest stops along the way. And I really needed to go bad, so I didn't want to stop in Las Vegas because I was afraid I was going to get lost. You know, as the buildings are so huge. I stopped in North Las Vegas to use the restroom. I pulled in and told my wife, just sit right here in the car and I'm going to run in and I'll be right back out. And I ran in there and ran to the bathroom and grabbed the door to open it up, and it was locked. Oh no, somebody's in here, you know. How unkind can you be? But then I noticed on the door it said you had to go to the register and get a key to get in, that they locked the bathroom. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard of from McDonald's. And so I went around to the restroom, you know, I went around to the front of the counter there. Can I help you? I said, yeah, I need a key, you know. Can you get it to me kind of quick? I said to the manager, why do you lock the door? He says, did you look in the lobby? And I said, no. He says, go look in the lobby. And I walked around and looked in the lobby, and there's probably about a dozen or more homeless people sitting in the lobby. They were trying to get out of the heat. It was about 117 degrees in Las Vegas that day. They had no place to go, no jobs, no homes, nothing. And the restaurant manager told me that McDonald's rule is that as long as you are a patron there and you purchase something, you can sit in the lobby. And so these people get enough money just to get a cup of coffee and they go buy a cup of coffee. Then they go to that place and they sit inside that lobby drinking coffee all day long, trying to stay out of the heat. I felt sorry for them. I went in and used the restroom, came back out, and gave the key to the manager. I got back in my car and I started to drive, and I thought to myself, God, if there's ever a time I wish that you would say something to me, now would be a good time. What should I do? How should I react? When driving through Las Vegas, you really get both sides of the world, don't you? You get these beautiful buildings that they've erected. I think it's the Mirage or one of those, that it's all gold glass on the outside. Sun hits it in the afternoon, it's just gorgeous. Beautiful. And then I drive just a few minutes to the north and I see what the industry and what the world has done to so many people. Hundreds of them. Lives are shattered, broken. We don't really kind of get that contrast in Paso Robles. Oh, occasionally we see a few homeless people, see somebody on the corner holding a sign up. Maybe we'll buy them a meal. Maybe we'll try to lend some assistance. But the dichotomy of great affluence and wealth and extreme poverty and destitution, we don't often see. But it's in there, it's in the world. And I said, God, I feel so hopeless. Is there anything I can do? And as I drove home, that theme was just kind of going through my mind. And in the midst of meditating on that, God spoke to me just like he was standing next to me in my mind. He just simply said these words: you can do something. Get them while they're young. Wow. You see, to minister to people at that level of brokenness requires a whole set of skills and a program in such a way that you have to dedicate your entire life to ministry to them. Most of us feel sorry for them and want to give them a few bucks, and often emptying our wallet or helping them out with something like that may really not be helping them. But what I can do is I can reach the dozens and the hundreds and the thousands of children that live in this area, whether they're in grade school or they're tweens or they're middle school or high school or even college. And if we can reach them for the gospel of Jesus Christ, and if we can instill in them the goodness and the love of God, we could prevent many a train wreck from happening later on in life. And so I want to say to us as a church and to all of you young people here, somebody invested in your life. A grandmother or a grandparent, a mom, a dad, an aunt, an uncle, a cousin, a friend. Somebody gave their life and told you about Jesus. And I want to thank you because you've come here to echo back to us in song the love of the Lord Jesus Christ. And I pray that you reach many people, and I pray that many people are touched and come to know Christ because of your ministry. And we want to thank you for that. And so, church, though we may not be able to go to the remotest parts of the jungles and share Christ, we may not be able to minister in some of the most impoverished areas and help homeless people who are stuck and stranded, we can minister to those right here in our own community camp.